Um, However, the evolution side of it is that everyone has access to it because we've created an environment that we can trust who's in charge. Like if you are a blacksmith, I should be able to trust that you are the top of your trade and that is your role. Like, but at the same time, I would hope that you chose it from a state of passion and alignment rather than enslavement and force, because I don't think unhappy enslaved people do a good job.
Yeah.
Unless they somehow have convinced themselves that that is what, like, that's just them making the best of it, but deep down they're not happy. And I say that from someone who kind of felt that in my own way. Like I went this whole medical path and reached a standard of society that was acceptable while also struggling with like an identity of who I felt and wanted to be. Again, like that inner monologue, that inner world not matching the outer world. And that's like a reflection of everything you kind of see around you is like no one's like you see it in TV. Like there's what is it? Where they have the innies and the outies at work, whatever, there's a show about it, and like no one's inner world is matching their outer world. And again, it's the disconnection from nature, it's the division of everything, the separatism, not embracing the individual in a collective sense. It's like it's all of these like hoops, and it's like, but we have the technology, we have the abundance to allow everyone to fit their role, and actually that would be a healthier environment for everyone, and that would keep things circulating. So if we're snuffing that, nature would manifest something horrific to ultimately get rid of the problem. So we have, okay, conspiracy time is that psychopaths are manifesting because of society, and that way nature is like, hey, if we create this psychopath, eventually they'll create nuclear war, blow up all the humans, and we can start over and get rid of this infestation because they're not doing their job. Humans were ultimately created to be guardians of nature and to nurture nature and to keep us evolving, and they are devolving us. Something like we're obviously sick. There's obviously not something good going on here within the human structure and how we're connecting to nature. You see it in everything that like people fear about. You wonder why everyone's in a state of psychosis and mental illness and unwellness. We can't trust anyone who to talk to. We can't guide ourselves outside of what we know, and we don't even know if what we know is real because there's so much propaganda and illusion everywhere. So what we need is people, because like so institutions like college, that used to be a standard or critique that if you took the time and spent the money to get this degree, I could trust that you are going to do right by me, and I can have that mental load. Again, so that's a feminine thing, taking off the mental load of nature to keep it going. So your worst person in society speaks more volumes than your best person of society. So if your worst person in society is on drugs, uneducated, homeless, in a state of psychosis, you failed them. Now, there are people who choose that life. They do that to themselves, and that's a different topic. But there are a lot of people who are failed because no matter what they did, they couldn't. It's like buttering the ladder. You have a ladder to heaven, and they put fucking oil on it, and they're laughing at you while you slide down it.